One of my personal commitments this year is to create more off-the-cuff videos, things that I share that I think will be beneficial to other people. You see, the last 3 years, I've been through a really deep personal growth journey. And what happened is that my new identity was still serving an old version of me in my business. And I see this a lot with coaches and teachers and leaders and people who are continuously growing, is that they often outgrow the current model that they have for their business. And they end up basically serving a former version of themselves by the way in which they generate leads or make sales. And so in this video, if you are a coach or you are somebody who shares your skills and knowledge and helps people, then I want you to know that there is a pathway out of this. It's likely that if you've done a lot of work personally, yet you have a business that's providing income and stability, yet you have a desire and something that you want to build, yet you're pregnant with the idea. You can't really get that thing out. Like you're trying to birth this idea into the world, but you're really stuck with it. There are a couple of things that I want you to know that I think will really, really help. Now, it sounds cliche and it sounds super obvious, but over time, our values shift. The way in which we are willing to do things change. For example, if I look at myself 10 years ago, I was willing to work 10 hours a day, bleed behind my laptop, put every piece of energy into it and sacrifice my health and energy to do so. It wasn't a conscious choice. It was just the way in which I was living because I had this big dream to build a big business by the time I was 30. Then as I went through life and I evolved and my kids became older, I went through some really challenging relationship stuff to the point where actually my partner and I separated. We're thankfully back together now. I realized that it wasn't business at all costs. It wasn't business over everything. In fact, now I am as equally invested in my personal growth as a man, as a father, as a husband, as I am in my business growth. And I will never sacrifice personal growth for business growth. And I want you to understand this. It's super important that often when we want to grow our business, our personal life struggles. And then when we want to work on ourselves, we want to do self-development, we want to grow, our business suffers. And I think the secret here is to find the harmony between the both of those things. Like as your business grows, life should get better. As your life gets better, then your business should grow. And far too often, I see smart, savvy, driven, committed people chasing a revenue number, yet sacrificing their time. They're not building with any constraint. They're not doing this within a constraint. And so for me right now, I am looking to reinvent my business. I'm reshaping my business. And the way in which I'm doing that is with a major constraint. I want to take a brand new offer from scratch. Having done this many times before, by the way, from 0 to 30,000 a month. But the constraint is in less than 4 hours a day. So I have created a blueprint for myself that allows me to do this without having to sacrifice every piece of my time, energy, and health like I did in the past. You see, building a 10 to 30,000 a month business and working 12 hours a day, never seeing your kids, being disconnected from your husband or wife is very different to building a 30K a month business whilst taking your kids to and from school every day, being deeply connected with your husband or wife, and enjoying life in the same breath. Far too many of us don't have the constraint of like how much time they want to invest into their business. And we are told by coaches, society, mentors, the videos that we consume on YouTube, that you should sacrifice everything. And I do think there is a season for that. I don't think I would be where I am today if in my 20s I didn't work extremely hard to get to where I am now. And by the way, I still feel like I'm in my infancy of growth. But the thing that I want you to know is that you have the ability to design the life that you want And you don't have to have a giant audience. You don't have to be out there every single day. You don't have to live on social media. You can design your business. And in fact, if you aren't designing your business, then you will simply use the time available that you have and fill it with business activity, which often is mindless. And that's why I am obsessed currently with efficiency over productivity. You see, most of the advice that you see is about how to become more productive, and how to become more productive assumes that you want to get more done in less time. But what if it wasn't that you had to do more? What if it was that you had to define what was essential in order to move your business forward right now? What if it was about elimination, automation, and delegation? What if it was getting rid of things, not adding more to it? Because there are probably things that you are doing in your business right now that you've just done because you've always done it. You're more likely addicted to the hormones of stress and adrenaline and the need to grow your business. And the paradox is that the less that you need something, more often than not, you attract it. You see, if you were in a relationship, the more needy you are, the more repelling that is. The less needy you are, the more magnetizing and attractive that is. This is just the law of humanity. If you see this any way, shape or form, anywhere in life, the more you need something, the less you attract it. The less you need something, the more you attract it. You see, the key here is to be committed to the process of bringing that thing into your life without needing it desperately. And I think if you can do that, if you can clearly practice non-attachment, you can define values, you can create constraints and boundaries around the way in which you invest your time, and then you speak more truth of what it is that you want to do. You see, I want to work with coaches that are in the 10 grand a month range, or the 5 to 10 grand a month range, that want to build businesses to $1,000 or £1,000 a day. That place from like 10 to 30 grand a month is a big leap for a lot of people, because what they end up doing is they end up doing a shit ton more work, because they assume in their mind that to get from 10 to 30 requires more work, more output, when in reality it's about better systems. It's about better processes. It's about better management of self. And so if you are in that situation right now where you are struggling to, you're probably, like what I see is you're probably struggling with an old version of you, and you're in conflict with the new version of you. You have a business that provides income, it looks after you and your family, and you have a vision of where you want your life to go. Yet you struggle with the tension between the 2 points. And I think the very first thing that you have to get extremely clear on is, what are you building? What does the next decade look like? Who are you becoming? Who are you stepping into? Because it's easy, and fear will allow you to slip back to, this is the way I know how to make money, let me go back and do that. Yet it's trust and it's faith and it's abundant thinking that goes, hey, I'm going to step into this unknown, not unknowingly. Right? I'm going to step into the unknown, not unknowingly. I'm stepping into it in full trust and faith, and knowing that I have spent time to figure out what my values are, what my direction is, what I'm unwilling to sacrifice in order to get there, the caliber of clients that I want to work with, the people that I want to bring into my life. I want, I'm sober. I don't drink alcohol. I would love to work with more people who are in that same mentality and mindset, who don't drink alcohol, who are on the journey of self-discovery. They're doing the deep, deep inner work. They're committed to owning the parts of themselves that are limiting, holding them back, or causing them pain. They're committed to doing healing work. They're committed to doing the stuff that the majority of people aren't. And a big part of this is you actually understanding that you have the power, you have the ability, you have the capability to magnetize the things that you want in your life without having to sacrifice all a piece that I'm working through right now and a dragon I've been slaying for many years is like, I can have value through my being, my vessel, my energy, who I am, as opposed to necessarily what I do for people. You see, the old version of me would do to get recognition and praise. The new version of me shows up as a mirror for others so that I can be a signpost that you don't have to be codependent. You don't have to rescue clients. You don't have to overgive. You can over-deliver and you can deliver more than you promise. But the fuel that's behind that is that anxiety, so you keep a client paying and you keep them around? Or is that through your genuine desire to serve in this world? And so this, I hope, has given you something to think about. If you're building a business and you are serving a former identity and you aren't enjoying the people that you're working with, and it's not that they're bad people. I promise you, I have amazing clients and I'm very fortunate with the clients that I have, but my marketing was attracting a lot of the people that I didn't want to work with. And so say like 2 out of every 10 new clients that I was bringing on board were great fits and 8 probably weren't. And my job now is to be extremely protective of the community that I have, the amazing clients that I have in my world, and be very, very selective on who I bring in, because every single client that I accept into my world is a nod to the universe of the direction that I'm heading with my life. And if you get into a place where money is tight, you need sales, and you start saying yes to bad fit clients, then guess what happens? That's a nod to the universe that you're not willing or don't have the courage to step into the version of you that you truly want to be. So I hope this resonated. I hope it was helpful. If you found value in this, I would appreciate a like, a subscribe, and a comment below. And yeah, I'm trying to get beyond the overthinking of creating content, because this is my pathway to creating better, more resonant content that actually shapes and helps people so that we can grow together. All right. Peace.